And here now for more, author, columnist, and speaker Gordon Chang. Gordon, good to have you with us this evening. So it's pretty rare to find bipartisanship here in Washington lately, maybe with the exception of China. Whether it's the Senate bill to give the president greater authority or the move to ban TikTok, why do you think we're seeing so much agreement on both sides of the aisle?
China has been pushing the United States, and it's not just the spy balloon, it's the spread of COVID, fentanyl, theft of U.S. intellectual property, you name it, and China's pushed too far. The issue here, though, is not consensus. The issue is what to do and how fast to do it. And on those two last issues, we don't have that consensus, but I think we're moving towards it.
Gordon, I understand you believe war with China is coming, suggesting that it will happen on the American homeland. You tweeted earlier today that the Chinese military will take down our grid, turn off our water, and spread disease. That's a pretty provocative statement. What do you base that on, Gordon?
Well, of course, China can hack into any network in the U.S. because we don't have adequate defenses. But also, we've got to remember that as we move to a 5G world, the Internet of Things, all devices are going to be connected. And we have a lot of Chinese-made devices in our country, like the drones. And then, if all of that weren't bad enough, we have these big cranes, port cranes, that are meant to be connected to China so China can troubleshoot them, which means that they can then manipulate them and steal data. You put all that together, and it means that China can do what's obvious, and that is, in the first moments of a war, manipulate our infrastructure, take it down, the grid, water, all the rest of it. So, unfortunately, this is well known. You know, we've known about this for a very long time. People have not focused in on it because people have not wanted to think about what war would look like. And by the way, war is not inevitable. It's just that we're moving towards it, and we have to ask ourselves, what is going to stop the momentum to war? Right now, there's not very much.
Well, speaking of war, there's open speculation about whether China will help Russia in Ukraine. What is holding China back from withholding military aid?
Nothing is holding China back because it's already been providing lethal assistance to Russia from the very beginning. You know, recently we've had this reporting about China selling drones to the Wagner Group for use in Ukraine. The Breaking Defense website has talked about how an AN-124, which is the biggest cargo plane in the world, leaves China almost daily, taking ammunition and other high consumption rate items. The Biden administration, I believe, has an obligation to tell the American people why all of these reports are wrong or why it was not telling the truth to the American people. But this is well known, Jenna, and so therefore the Biden administration needs to get off this, oh, you know, China might do this. It's already been doing it.
Real quickly, in the 30 seconds or so we have left, is there anything that can be done to thwart China's growing aggression, or is it too little too late, Gordon?
There's a lot that we can do. We've so much more powerful society than China, but we don't have the political will. We need a president who is going to stand toe-to-toe to China and say what they are doing to the American people and what they're doing to our friends and allies are unacceptable, and that we will impose costs. Unfortunately, we don't have that type of president yet.
All right, Gordon Chang, author and columnist, thank you so much for your time and your insights tonight.
Thanks, Gordon.
Thanks, Jenna and John.